Hello guys, Lego Master Reviews here, and today we're doing a review on the LEGO Star Wars Set 75444 ATRT Attack. This set has 297 pieces and retails for $44.99 in the US, which is a very controversial price point to say the least. So we'll get into that in this review. We do get 3 minifigures included, that being Grogu, the Mandalorian, and an Imperial Remnant ATRT driver. This is obviously based off the brand new Mandalorian and Grogu movie releasing very soon. So I'm just so excited to finally be reviewing a set based off a new Star Wars movie. Just feels so good and refreshing to get a movie wave. Just super cool. So I'm beyond excited to review this set for you guys. So without further ado, let's jump right on into this review. And before we take a look at the minifigures, I did just want to take a second to look at the box because it's actually really cool artwork. For one, we have the new Mandalorian and Grogu kind of box style with the like the blue studs and like greebling. Of course, the LEGO Star Wars logo, all the set information. Then I just really love the rocky and like snowy background. Obviously, I'm sure it fits the scene perfectly, so it's just really cool we get that there. Then on the side, you can see more of that greebling, the LEGO Star Wars logo. And then on the sides of the boxes, for all the sets in this wave, they include some minifigures from the sets, and then the Mandalorian and Grogu logo for the movie, and that's just really cool. I think it's just really unique. We just don't normally see that on like Star Wars sets, so I thought that was just a really cool detail. Then of course on the back, you can get more cool kind of artwork there with kind of like the sun either setting or rising. I'm assuming setting, but you can see it just looks really cool there. I just love all the color and just the snow. It's a really like kind of vibey box, for lack of a better term. I just really like the look of it, so I just wanted to point that out. And on the top, of course, you have the like one-to-one image of the ATRT driver, of course. But yeah, mainly just the back, especially that was really cool with the colors, and the sides of the boxes with the like figures and the logo I think is also really cool. So yeah, pretty cool artwork for these boxes. The first minifigure we'll be taking a look at here is the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin, and this minifigure is actually an updated version from the previous version of the Mandalorian we've gotten. And I'll show you a quick side-by-side comparison real quick here. You can see that the leg print is the biggest difference here for sure. You can see that the armor on the legs is shrunken down to accommodate the knee armor there, which looks amazing here, much more accurate. And of course, you also get some toe printing now too, which is great. Not that this minifigure was bad by any means, but there's no denying that this new leg print just looks so much more better. And the only other difference between these two figures is the arm print. You can see on the older one that there was the whistling burst print there, but it appears the Mandalorian has some sort of new device on his gauntlet now, and that is accurate to the movie, so they made that change as well. So that's really great to see. But other than that, these minifigures are the exact same. You can see the torso print's the same. The other arm is the exact same. You can see the Mudhorn on there still, as well as the same gauntlet. And of course, the helmet is the exact same as well, with the more newer helmet here was changed a few years ago with the thinner visor, of course, as well as the like printing aside of the helmet and the printing on the top as well. Underneath, you get that same Din Djarin face print, which looks amazing. Part of me does wish that they would change it up, but at the same time, LEGO's always making such random changes with like pupils on Sith Lords and like the waist cave, so I don't think it was necessary. You know, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. So I still really like this face print a lot. And then of course he has his jetpack here, which I do kind of wish LEGO would make this the silver to match his armor. For some reason, it's always been in this gunmetal gray. And it's the same thing they do on the newer Jango Fett figures, even though they made it the right color on the older Jango Fett. So I'm not quite sure why they wouldn't change it, but either way, still looks nice. You can see he has his blaster as well. But overall, this minifigure is incredible. The Mandalorian minifigure was already a great figure, but this new printing on the legs, the updated arm print, it's the cherry on top. So this minifigure is absolutely perfect. I love the look of him so much, and I just think LEGO did a phenomenal job here. The next minifigure we'll be taking a look at here is, of course, Grogu. So cute! He looks adorable as always, especially this time around with his brand new body mold. You can see here, it just looks incredible. Comparing him to the original Grogu here, you can see it's really night and day. Like, not that this one was bad, but just comparing this to like the normal baby mold with printing, it's just so much better. But they do have the same head mold here. You can see they have the like little rubbery textured head, as well as the wrinkles on top, as well as the little cute eyes. But other than that, this figure is so much better. You can see the collar that goes around his neck, of course, as well as the printing on the front. This is the more standard look for Grogu. There is a Grogu in this wave as well with the Beskar printed on him, but this is kind of the more generic look for him. You can also see he has his arms, of course, his little green hands, like kind of represented like minifigure claws there. On the back, there is no printing, but you do get this little slot for a stud, which does kind of tie into the set with him like sitting on the ATRT, but also you could place him on anything with a stud or in a minifigure's hand. And you can see removing the head real quick that it is dual molded as well. And of course, you can angle the head however you want, you know, go left, right, 360, whatever you want to do. But yeah, Grogu just looks adorable here. I think LEGO really perfected Grogu. There's really not much you could change at this point. I think he just looks incredible. So it's great to not only get an updated Mandalorian minifigure, but a perfected Grogu as well. Lastly, here we of course have our Imperial Remnant ATRT driver. This minifigure is also really great. I love the helmet mold he has here. You can see it is the Shore Trooper helmet, of course, but in white to obviously match the snow planet. It just looks incredible. I love all the printing on there. Just so much detail, especially like this little compartment on the front there. It just looks really great, but there's even printing on the sides there, as you can see. Just a phenomenal helmet, and I do really hope that with the reintroduction of this helmet that LEGO is planning some sort of Shore Trooper battle pack or like a Shore Trooper set like related to Rogue One or something. I think would be really cool. But regardless of that, this figure looks great with this helmet. Underneath you get a very nice face print, as you can see, and obviously a great torso print to follow that. You can see there's some armor on there as well as a belt, and on the back you also get some nice detailing on that torso. And then from the torso continues down a waist cape, which then leads to nothing. There is no physical waist cape, no prints, no dual molded legs or anything, so that does not look very good at all. And I really wish LEGO would have done something, but kind of par for the course now with LEGO, just no waist capes, period. So that really sucks. But I do like the printing for the knee armor there, and of course he has a blaster as well. So yeah, overall, I think this minifigure, other than the waist cape, is a phenomenal figure. Also really unique to like see the Shore Trooper helmet in white here. So I like this minifigure a lot. I just really wish he had a waist cape. Overall, I'm really happy with the minifigures that we get in this set, but there's no denying for $45, LEGO could have included something else. It's just really ridiculous that we basically get 2 figures and a half. Like something else could have been included here, even if it was just another ATRT driver or like a snow trooper, stormtrooper, Imperial officer, a mouse droid opposing Grogu like we see in the trailer. Something else would have been nice, and it just really feels like the ATRT driver is like outmatched here, just really outnumbered. So something else would have been nice again, especially for that $45 price point. But I still like the minifigures we get. Of course, you get the best version of the Mandalorian to date with that brand new leg printing, the new arm print, the updated Grogu with that brand new body mold. The ATRT driver is also a pretty good figure, other than the lack of a waist cape, but that helmet on him is great. Torso printing is great. So I like the figures you get, but again, for $45, something else could have been included. Moving on into the builds of the set, we're going to start with the ATRT here, and you can see it is kind of a unique design for the ATRT this time around because it's an Imperial ATRT, so you kind of have this dark gray color scheme, and there's obviously other pretty obvious indicators. Another big difference is actually this engine on the back, which I don't think is normal for ATRTs as far as I can remember, so I think that's a really cool look, and you get these nice pieces on the side, and this kind of like silver color, and they're obviously very posable here, and you could put them flat if you wanted to. I'm not quite sure why you want to do that, but whatever you want to do, it is nice that you get the option. Then of course you have these antennas here, which I believe is normal for ATRTs. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe most of them normally have these, and it's pretty sturdy, as you can see, because it's like kind of sunken into the piece underneath that black piece there, so they're like pretty sturdy. If you like bump into them, they're not going to go flying off, but if you put enough pressure, they will break off eventually. And then you can see that there is this clip here, and that is for your spare blaster for either the Mandalorian, of course, or you can take the blaster from your Imperial ATRT driver as well and just place it on in there. So that's nice, you get that as well. Then you can see you have the seat for your pilot, the handlebar, then a slot for either Grogu or an extra part included, which I'll show you later. Then you can see there's also this piece underneath the seat, which I like a lot. I just like how it kind of curves in there. It looks kind of, I just like the shaping of it, I think is very cool. Then you can see on the front here that we of course have the Imperial logo on these pieces here, which are adjustable if you wanted to move them. And obviously they're not prints, but I think the grays match up pretty well, so I'm not like too upset about that. Obviously, like a print would have been better, but as long as like the grays match up, I'm not too frustrated about it. So you get those, and you get these 2 stickers up on the front as well, which look very nice and have a lot of nice detail on them as well. And then at the very front here, you have the stud shooters, which I really don't like the look of them personally. They look kind of cartoony on this, so I wish they would have just done some brick built like guns in the front. But either way, they are stud shooters, and obviously they fire off like so, like any other stud shooter would. And they're also on a ball joint, so you can get a lot of rotation out of them, of course, a lot of different angles. But now we'll move on to the legs of the ATRT. Moving down to the legs of the ATRT, we're going to start at this top section here. And this section here actually is not posable. It's kind of just like stuck in place. But you do get this little gap here, and I believe that's supposed to be like a step for the characters in universe. That might be a stretch, but to me, that's what that looks like, and you get that on both sides. So I think that's kind of a cool detail. Something that's not cool, though, is this tan piece here. I do not like the look of that at all. Unless that's like a detail in the movie, then it's not a big deal. But I highly doubt that. I think that's just LEGO being too cheap to either recolor this piece or put something over it, at least like a tile piece or like one of these pieces in dark gray. But there's just this tan piece here, and it's just really off-putting compared to the rest of the color scheme of the ATRT. So I don't like that at all. But the rest of the legs do look very nice. I like the slope piece there, of course, the grill piece that you got on each side of there, as well as these like kind of circular pieces. And you can see down here, there's some like black mixed into the legs and just more really cool pieces. The feet are also very nicely shaped. I like the cheese slopes being used there, these kind of curved pieces there. And the legs are just kind of attached by these ratchet joints here. So there's a lot of posability to be had. Of course, you can move the legs up very far. You can move them forward very far as well, and that applies to both legs, of course. So that's cool. And yeah, there's just so many poses to be had. You can have it like look all the way up like that. Of course, it's gonna fall over, but if you like adjust it well enough and like some sort of running pose, just depending on how you do it, like it will stand in like a running pose. I've been able to accomplish it. But yeah, there's just so much posability. As you can see, you can get some really fun poses, of course. But yeah, most of the time, like poses like this just aren't going to stand. And obviously, if you kind of just have a stationary pose, as long as it's like pretty well balanced, it's going to stand up. So that is nice, of course. But yeah, I really like all the posability in the legs. It's very fun to play around with, and I think kids are definitely going to have fun just kind of like playing around with the legs and just kind of doing some like really silly poses. So it's nice to get that, and I just like all the posability in the legs. So yeah, really no complaints as far as the legs go. I just don't like this tan piece here. Other than that, I think LEGO did a great job though. Hidden inside the build too are these two blue studs, and I believe these are supposed to be an Easter egg to, of course, Grogu's cookies. Now maybe this is just one big coincidence, but I really doubt that. And so I think it's really cool they included those little studs there. Obviously, they're covered up, so like the blue's not going to be like striking or popping out. It's just cool they included a little Easter egg like that in the set. And with the Mandalorian and Grogu on there, it really does complete the look. I love how Grogu like really contrasts with the dark gray of the ATR-T. The Mandalorian looks really sick on here as well. And of course, there's ample room for his jetpack because of that slow piece there, which is very nice. And yeah, they both look very cool in here. And obviously their heads can be moved around depending on what angle you want them at. And like kind of straight on, you can see it also looks very cool. And it's also just very adorable having Grogu on like such an intimidating like machine here. So I really like the look of that. But obviously Grogu is sitting on a stud here. And with that stud, you can actually place this like control panel piece included in the set. And that could obviously work for the Mandalorian piloting it if you didn't want Grogu there. But what it's really meant for is the ATR-T driver. And you can see it looks very sick here, of course, with the ATR-T driver piloting it as well. So it's really cool they include that extra like control panel here. Like it wasn't necessary, but it's obviously much more accurate. So I really do appreciate that a lot. And it does really make me wish that they would have included an extra ATR-T in this set. So we'd have one fighting the Mandalorian and Grogu. And especially at that $45 price point, I think it would have been very cool to get an extra one here. Now, maybe in the movie, like the Mandalorian never has to fight another one of these, which in that case, like, yeah, it would technically be inaccurate. But would anyone really care if it wasn't accurate to the movie if we got another one of these? So I really wish we would have done that. But regardless, I think it does look really cool with the ATR-T driver on there, of course. And the fact that we get an extra little control panel is very cool as well. Moving on to the second build of the set here, we of course have this little snow base or snow turret, whatever you want to call it. It's very reminiscent of Hoth and Echo Base, which I really like. And we'll start at the top here with this little turret. You can see here that it has these cartoonishly large stud shooters on top, so you can just fire those off like any other stud shooter, of course. Very simple. And underneath that, you do get some brick builds, like cannons, I guess is what you could call them, or like blasters, whatever. And I like that a lot. I kind of wish the ATR-T did that, where there was like the stud shooters and then the brick built like guns underneath. But either way, I think it does look very cool. There's this slope piece here that kind of leads into the like handles for the turret, and the whole turret itself is very posable. You can go full 360, go up, down, side to side. So there's a lot of like movement and range there. And then of course this whole top thing can do a full 360 as well. I think kids will have fun with that. And then of course you have some studs at the very top, so you can take your ATR-T driver and place them on top of the studs and have them kind of mount the cannon, which I think looks very cool and definitely completes the look of it for sure. And like I said, again, full 360, and I think kids will have fun kind of like messing around with the cannon, getting like cool angles out of it, and like kind of moving it around, like fighting off the Mandalorian, kind of charging up. So I think that would be a very fun play experience for sure. And then you can see going down from there that you have these like stickers kind of decorating the walls of this little base here. So there's like some weathering on these tan lines here, some buttons, and same with that one there. And you can see it just kind of goes on and on. One thing I did notice about these stickers, though, is that you can see the white. It kind of goes like a little higher than the white on this sticker. And I'm not quite sure why they did that, other than just maybe that this piece here would just hinder it. But then why not just make this one shorter? Either way, like I think the white does match with the bricks pretty well. So it's like barely noticeable. But that was just kind of weird to me. But you can see the tan lines also do line up pretty well. So I really don't have that much like complaints about it. Just I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah, the stickers, they look pretty nice, I think. And you can see below the stickers kind of have these like smooth slope pieces there that leading into kind of these like more rugged slope pieces. And you can see the rocks are kind of poking through, of course, and the whole bottom of the base here is like this tan color, which I imagine is supposed to be the dirt. Obviously, you can see the rocks kind of poking through the snow on this side as well. And it's always cool when Lego does terrain, especially in Lego Star Wars. So I like the look of this a lot. It's all the different pieces being used here. I think look very cool. But yeah, that's basically the whole exterior. Again, obviously not like the craziest build ever, but I think it does look cool, and I especially like the terrain on the bottom. The stickers look pretty nice, and of course the top thing can be fun for kids, I think. So overall, pretty big fan of the exterior, but now we're going to move on to the interior. You might have saw these pieces on the side of the turret here and thought that there was going to be some sort of expansion to this, maybe like another turret or like a base of some sort, but unfortunately these are actually just to open it, and I really don't think they're necessary. Like, you can open it very easily just grabbing the sides of it, so I again don't think they're necessary at all, but maybe kids will find it useful. You can see it's just connected using this kind of like ratchet piece here, then this clip piece, and it's a pretty sturdy connection. Like, it's not going to fall apart on you, but it also opens up very easily. So yeah, maybe they'll do an expansion at some point, and I really hope they do, but as of right now, I really think it is just to open it up. But inside, you'll find this little weapons rack here, so you can take your blaster for your ATRT driver here and just place it on the weapons rack like so, and close it up. And you get another little spot here where I suppose you could put the Mandalorian's blaster if you wanted to. And there's also this little like container here, and you can see opening it up that this is actually where you store the control panel that you would put on the ATRT when you want him piloting it. So that is cool, and it's nice to give you a spot to put it in when the Mandalorian and Grogu are piloting the ATRT. But yeah, you could also put like the extra ammo for the turret or like the ATRT in here as well. There's plenty of room for it. But yeah, that's really about it as far as the interior goes. There's not a whole lot else going on. This little area here is empty, so it can obviously fit the weapons rack, and you could squeeze a minifigure in here for sure, just kind of putting him on the side and then closing it up, but I don't think it's intended for that by any means. You can see it's just kind of an uncomfortable fit. But yeah, that's really the whole of the build here. Not a ton going on, but I do like the like building techniques here for like the terrain outside. And I think the like spinning feature on top is really fun. I think kids will have fun with that for sure. So I'm a pretty big fan of this, but it's also nothing crazy. But that's going to do it for my review on the LEGO Star Wars ATRT Attack. Overall, I think the set is objectively overpriced. I think had we gotten another ATRT or another snow turret, just at least more minifigs, you're maybe looking at a $45 set. But for what we get, I think you're looking at a $30 set at most. But that's not to say I don't like the set by any means. I think you get a great build for the ATRT. I really like the look of it, and of course the build for the snow turret's also really great. And you also get the best version of the Mandalorian state, the best version of Grogu to date with that brand new body mold, and the ATRT driver is also a pretty good figure. Just the waist cape on him is not very good, but I think if you can find the set for $30, definitely pick it up. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. It's a really fun set. I think it looks great on display, but also I think kids are going to have a lot of fun with this one as well. So overall, I give the set an 8 out of 10. The price is just really bad on this one, but the set itself is really great. But let me know in the comments down below what you think of the set if you plan on picking it up, and let me know how excited you are for the Mandalorian and Grogu in the comments down below as well. And also let me know what you think of this new wave for the Mandalorian and Grogu in the comments. And thank you so much for watching this video. I truly do appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it, and have an incredible day.